It's time for the phone-in segment. So get your phone closer, load them up, because it's time for us to chat. We're talking about the living cost and a malnutrition crisis. We'd love to get your take on it. Save the Children International, SCI, says an additional 1 million children in Nigeria will be suffering from acute malnutrition by April next year if there is no urgent action. This comes as extreme flooding, escalating violence, and rampant food shortages fuel a deepening hunger crisis. A statement, SCI said among about 1.8 million could be experiencing severe acute malnutrition, the deadliest form of malnutrition that compromises children's immune system and turns otherwise treatable illness such as diarrhea potentially lethal. And this represents an alarming 80% increase. It was said. Now in Nigeria, the crisis is reaching unprecedented levels as a catastrophic climate disaster, escalating insecurity and soaring prices threaten to leave over 16 million children hungry. The children, not just the children, are hungry, even the adults are hungry as well. So at this point, we're asking, what is your take on the rise in malnutrition and living costs in Nigeria? Are there ways Nigerians can find a balance? Are there cheaper food options Nigerians could go for that could still, be nutritious enough to avoid acute malnutrition for children and for families? We'd love to hear your thoughts. The phone lines are open and the numbers will be displayed on your screen shortly. So do well to call us in and would love to hear your thoughts on that. Now, for many households, affording a single balanced diet has become challenging. Now, looking at the statistics from the National Bureau of Statistics, it revealed that the cost of a healthy diet reached an average of 1,346 naira per adult meal as of September 2024. Now, this figure reflects a 7.3% increase from the previous month and underscores the situation in which families struggle to secure adequate daily nutrition. So if an adult is spent 1,346 naira per meal, not per day. So if you're going to be doing 2 meals, that's approximately almost 3,000 naira for 2 meals per day. That is not the proper 3 square meal you would want to have. Or if you want to cut down the cost, and maybe take a non-balanced diet versus a balanced diet for adults. Now for children, let's not forget that children need a lot more of this. And 1 egg costs 250 naira. And you know how important egg is for growth and development of children. Milk, even the milk that is not full cream, is quite expensive at this point in time. These are things that children need for adequate growth. Body-building foods that would help. We don't even want to talk about how much meat and proteins have become in Nigeria today. Formerly, beans used to be seen as a very affordable, cheap form of meal for people to eat. Oh, just buy beans is very cheap. But at this point, a mudu of beans, depending on the kind of beans you're buying, goes for nothing less than 2,000 naira upwards. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know there's this type I buy that is, I think, 3,500 or 4,000 naira. And then there are some that are, nothing is less than 2,000 naira for a mudu of beans today in Nigeria. We don't talk about rice or gari or every other staple, but at least proteins that are needed to build bodies and, help children with nutrition, or the cost of vegetables. All of this put together, how are Nigerians able to afford a balanced diet? Are people still considering balanced diets in their food today? That's actually a question too. So the phone lines are open. The numbers will be displayed on your screen shortly. Please do well to call us and let's hear your thoughts. Now, notably, the Southwest records the highest of cost of healthy diet at 1,598 naira, while the Northwest is the lowest at 1,144 naira per meal. Now, one of the key factors, like they said, that's contributing to this deepening malnutrition is economic inflation, where inflation has pushed food prices to unprecedented levels, affecting staples like rice, maize, and beans. And also, we see a weaker naira and high transportation cost, further compounding the issue and making it more expensive to distribute food to markets across the country. We also see climate change, climate-related issues like irregular rainfall. We saw a period where in Benue State, they were grateful to God that rain had come so they could plant their crops. We see cases of flooding. The flooding we've experienced this year and in the past 4 years, I would say, has contributed to a certain level of food shortage we're experiencing in Nigeria, because farms get run away by water and crops get destroyed. So this flooding disrupts farming activities, and large portions of harvest, leaving families with fewer resources and higher prices of food. Insecurity also. On the show yesterday, when we were talking about state of the nation, what do you think should be fixed? Someone spoke about agriculture and insecurity. These are two major aspects that work hand in hand. The farmlands are no longer safe for farmers to go in at this point in time. So when insecurity is fixed, would there be a difference? Healthcare access, amongst others. So at this point, to Nigerians, how are you able to afford affordable meal options? What is your take on the rise in malnutrition and the living cost in Nigeria today? Would love to hear your thoughts. Now let's take this call. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, good morning. My name is Shona from Imo State.
I didn't get your name, please. Do we still have the call?
Honor.
All right, go ahead with your thoughts. Oh, we lost the call. We apologize if there's a network glitch going on there. Well, we have two numbers showing on your screen. So do well to call either of them and we'll be here to take your opinion. Call any of them or send WhatsApp messages and we're here to get your thoughts. Now, on this, as a Nigerian, how are you adjusting your meal plans? Share it with us and let others learn. And if you're not sure of how to adjust your meal plans, and to one who has also adjusted the meal plans, do well to share your ideas and let others learn and know how to adjust their meal plans in such a way that there will be a certain level of balanced diet, especially for the sake of the children. What creative ways are people using to maintain a nutritious diet on a budget? Now, I try to, even if I can't give egg every day, I try to inculcate vegetables, doesn't matter how little, to the meals for my children. And yes, we still try to afford little beans here and there, so they would have that to consume. Let's take this call. Good morning. We lost the call. We apologize if there's a network glitch, and we look forward to still getting more calls from you. The phone lines are open and we'll be here to take your thoughts. Now, another question I have is, how are rising food prices affecting your budget as a family person, especially for low-income households? Let's take this call.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, good morning.
I can hear you. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, I'm Ismail calling from Niger.
Ismail, it's good to have you all the way from Niger. So what's your thoughts on the cost of living vis-a-vis malnutrition, and how have you been able to, create a balanced diet despite the cost of living in Nigeria today?
In fact, this is your money topic. It's a very interesting one. Truly, with the present situation in this country, we shouldn't be. Maybe because if I'm to say, I'm going to classify Nigeria into three classes. Because I don't think we have the middle class as far as this country is concerned anymore. Maybe the higher class of the citizens are enjoying the balanced diet. I take my survey some times ago. I go around my locality. You can't believe that most of these our meal factory that they grind all this dawa, jiro, or whatsoever, people cannot even afford to buy a mudu of grounded maize or dawa. All they do is to go to a milling factory. The one that poured on the ground is what they are gathering. To be buying 500, yes, to be buying 500 naira, 1,000 naira, the case may be, because they cannot go to market and afford it. Someone that cannot even afford a grounded dawa or jiro, not even talk of meat, meat or fish in the market. Truly, is very pathetic. The situation is very pathetic. A lot of children now are dying of hunger. A lot of children now are dying of a different illnesses due to malnutrition. And to be very candid to ourselves, what is government doing in order to address all these issues? Nothing. Just imagine, you talk of the price of beans in your places now. In my place is here, so in my place is here, Even now, people are farming beans now, but could you believe that a liter of chemical used in spraying the beans, initially it was sold 10,000 naira, but now in some places it's sold 20,000 naira. Just within the every week it increased. Just within the week it increased 5,000 naira. And it's not stopping there. And at least, if I'm not mistaken, this is part of the protein we have as far as Nigeria is concerned.
Yes, it is, absolutely.
If I'm to say, even the common one, people can lay their hands on. Imagine people spending these thousands of naira on a beans to farm a beans, and this during harvest, and they expect those to be less expensive. So, in fact, it's very pathetic. I just pray that God should deliver us in this country. Amen. Because the government is not doing anything in order to address all these issues. The major problem that causes all this problem is the removal of subsidy. Since it's not paying us, please if you cannot bring back the subsidy, at least do something that will easier for people. People are really suffering.
All right, thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you so much for sharing your insight with us. Do have a great day as well. Thank you for calling in. Well, like he said, people are suffering because the cost of food is becoming alarming. People are skipping meals. People can no longer afford to eat what it is they like or they enjoy anymore. At this point, you just eat for survival. I think it was here in the studio where we saw reports of people picking a particular kind of wild grass that they normally combine with something else to eat. But due to how expensive things are, that is all they consume. And it's quite sad. In as much as people are finding options, the options are beginning to look really unavailable, and it's no longer easy for Nigerians. Well, the phone lines are still open, and we'll still love to hear your thoughts. What are your coping strategies? How are you creating a balanced diet for your family so they could, not fall into the category of malnourished children in the country? Let's take this call. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Oh, we lost the call. It seems we're experiencing a network glitch today. So please, we have 2 numbers, and you could also send WhatsApp messages. If you cannot reach us, please send us a message on WhatsApp to any of the numbers showing on your screen, and we're definitely going to respond. I believe it's the second number. So yes, do send us a WhatsApp message, and we'll be here to read it out if you cannot get through. We'd really love to hear your thoughts. So yes, talking about coping strategies, are they things you do to help you adapt? Let's take this call. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? Do we still have the caller on the line?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead with your thoughts. Tell us your name and go ahead with your thoughts.
Ade from London.
Oh, Ade, it's been a while. It's good to have you this morning.
Thank you very much. I just had a phone call from my elder sister in Nigeria. She was complaining of food and all this sort of thing, that I spend money, they want to buy rice, buy beans, buy all these things.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, how much will you need for me to send now? She said, you send 500,000. I said, for what? He said, things are expensive. So now I can't imagine how ordinary people are coping. Not especially people with children, because I'm concerned about children. You understand? So how are children coping with this situation? Because they need a good diet to survive.
Yeah.
If you are grown up, you can still cope with a bit of maybe bread and water. But the children need some diet that will make them grow. So I don't know how they are coping. I've said it many times that the state government, the local government, they should focus on food. Food is very, very important. Because with salary of 70,000, you can't get anywhere. I think the government should have worked this out with 2,500 naira per day in the morning, afternoon, and evening. So that they are getting 250,000 minimum wage. I mean, because this thing now, I don't know how people are surviving it. What if people don't have anybody to call or anybody that they run to? How will they eat? How will they feed their family? You know what it looks like for a man not able to provide for his family. Not that he's lazy, but the money is earning is not enough. You see, I don't know what government is doing. And I'm not happy about this thing because I see the situation going on. You can imagine. Every weekend, the supermarket, all the stores, They will, all the to the expire food, they will go take it to charity. They will give them. So people doesn't have money to go there and take free of charge. But in Nigeria, nothing like that. They will change the date again. Only God will rescue us. We are a prayerful country. I don't know what else to say again. But God will rescue Nigeria one day. I know this for sure.
No, God will.
Thank you, my sister. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Ade, for calling in. And yes, God will definitely rescue Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. And Nigerians need to also step up to rescue themselves. Vote the right leaders into power. Vote people who campaign based on issues and not on sentiment or religion.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Comrade Abdullah Ibrahim from La local government area of Niger State.
Oh, it's good to have you on the show this morning. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Thank you. The issue of malnutrition amongst children is not only restricted to children. Even the adults, even the parents these days are malnourished. Exactly, because the high cost of living has really affected everything.
Okay.
If you look at children, taking care of children, the aged parents and other social activities one needs to attend to, many parents have failed in providing the basic necessities of life, the basic necessities of home, because of the high cost of living. Something that we used to buy for 200 naira is now over 1,000 naira, and the income has not really increased. So we discovered that many people, especially children, that's why you say out of school children these days, many children are going to criminalities and all forms of social vices. Because once there is too much of hardship in society, definitely the adverse effect of it will amount to high insecurity, out of school children and other social vices. The government should come to the heads of Nigerians. Most of these policies are not really working, and it's causing too much of hardship. And it is the responsibility of the government to do the needful, except they want to tell us that they are deliberately inflicting pains on the Nigerians. Because if you can bring a policy and it's not working, and the masses said it's not working, you should reverse it. You have no choice because you are leading. It is because of us that you are there. If there's no Nigerians, you can't be there. So sincerely, people are really suffering, especially civil servants. Most of us have failed in providing the shelter, the foods and other things for our family. So government should please do the needful to the people, especially the fuel. Look at hike in electricity, hike in fuel, hike in transportation, hike in everything. It's no longer giving us good mind to even think normal again. Sincerely.
Yeah.
People are no longer thinking normal again. So may God make it easy for the poor masses.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would love to totally agree with you there on how people are thinking nowadays. There was a very gruesome video on social media yesterday showing a driver setting himself, his boss, and a LASMA officer on fire because the officer was about to seize his vehicle and take him down to the station. I mean, that is a very, very rational thinking, because in his head, he doesn't even want to pay the amount because he knows they're going to extort a lot from him. Hence, let's just set it on fire. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
From any. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you speak up a little bit and tell us your name, please, and where you're calling from? Oh, we lost the call. Well, we could hear you. I think I heard Chi something. We could hear you a bit, but do well to call back. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Can you please turn down the volume of your TV set and talk to us through your phone?
Good morning.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Well, my name is Just Confidence. I'm calling from Makadi.
All right, it's good to have you. Go ahead. What is your take on the topic of discussion this morning?
The topic of discussion this morning, I feel is a very, very good one, and that's why I have to call in. And I thank you for making our time to bring out something like this. Actually, the issue of malnutrition is not only affecting little children, but it's affecting also the adults. The adults are the ones that are fending for the children. So when you cannot have enough, how do you fend for the children? So you see, in all, we have discovered that the removal of subsidy is one of the biggest crises that we have in Nigeria today. And apart from that, we talk about the banditry, Fulani headsmen,
Insecurity, basically.
Killing the farmers on farm, like here in Benue State. The most areas that used to produce farm products, that we get these products cheap, they are no longer vibrant, because all of them are on the run. You see most of them roaming the streets of Makodi. They left their remote villages to come and be roaming the streets. As they are roaming the streets, they are begging for food to even eat and survive by themselves. These are the family giants that used to produce food that takes care of Makodi, Benue State, and other states in Nigeria. But you discover that these particular areas, they no longer farm. The farmlands are taken over by bandits. You cannot go there to farm anything. People are on the run. The farmers are on the run. There is nothing like agricultural production. Apart from that, the little people that have security in their areas that are producing, the farm inputs are very, very expensive. You cannot buy chemical to spray your farm. The chemicals are very, very expensive. And if you don't do that, there will be no yield. So, well, I am of the opinion that the government should come to our aid, restore peace and security in areas so that our farmers can go back to their respective areas and keep on producing so that we can be relieved. If not, no matter how you gather money, the money cannot be enough for you.
For you, true.
Compared to the cost of items in the market today.
True that.
So if the government is for us and we actually put him in that place, it is only proper that this policy he has brought, we are suffering. It is only possible, I feel, that he should reverse it. If truly what we have today is democracy, he is for us, we are for him. So if the policy is not favoring us, I believe that he should consider our plight and return it back so that we can have peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that thought. You know, the part that really piqued my attention was the fact that you said most farmers who have been in the interior villages working on their farmlands are now coming to Makadi where they're begging to survive just because they can no longer farm due to insecurity. You know, at the end of the day, a lot is bedeviling the nation. When you talk about malnutrition, it has a lot of backstory to it, from insecurity to lack of availability of food to the cost of living. Even if the food is available, due to the cost of living, Nigerians can't afford it. Well, let's take this last call for the day. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. I can hear you. Tell us your name, where you're calling from, and turn down the volume of your TV set.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Yeah, good morning. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Abubakar Sani Mohammed. I'm calling from Zamfara.
It's good to have you. Go ahead.
My name is Abubakar Sani Mohammed. I'm calling from Zamfara. Well, what is happening presently in Nigeria is more than dictatorship, because people are really suffering. People cannot feed, and what the government keeps on telling us is they know we are suffering. Okay, they know we are suffering. What are they doing about it? You can't even buy fish, this fish that, what do you call it, this ice fish that we usually buy. It's not even affordable for a government worker, talk less of somebody that is not working. the insecurity is a major challenge. That's why we can't feed ourselves.
Sure.
So what is the government doing?
All right. Thank you so much for your thoughts. It was good to have your opinion on the show this morning. Nigerians have shared their thoughts, and we hope that the government is listening. Now, when it comes to food in Nigeria, it's something that shouldn't be joked around with. It's something that needs to be made affordable for the barest Nigerians to afford. But we hope that the government is not just hearing but listening, and we hope that the solution will be found to it in the shortest term possible.